Hello friends, hope you all are fine. Last we have done light reflection and refraction. I hope you have completed those diagrams. You have studied those numericals. You might have even solved the exercise. If you haven't solved, do solve it and write down in your notebook. Today we are beginning chapter 12, electricity. Electricity has an important place in modern society. It is controllable and convenient form of energy for variety of uses in homes, schools, hospitals, industries and so on. What constitutes electricity? How does it flow in an electric circuit? What are the factors that control or regulate the current through an electric circuit? In this chapter, we shall attempt to answer such questions. We shall also discuss the heating effect of electric current and its appliances. We are coming to electric circuit and diagram. Let us first know about electric charges. There are two types of electric charges, positive electric charge and negative electric charge. We also know that protons carry positive charge and electrons carry negative charge. Charge is denoted by Q. Capital alphabet Q is used in order to denote charge and its unit is coulomb. Charge carried by either electron or proton is 1.6 into 10 is to minus 19 coulomb. Numerical value of charge carried by both electron and proton is same, only sign of value is different. So remember 1.6 into 10 is to minus 19 coulomb, that is a charge carried by either electron or proton. If you are asked electron charge on electron, then it will be minus 1.6 into 10 is to minus 19 coulomb, and for proton it will be plus 1.6 into 10 is to minus 19 coulomb. Now let us see how many electrons make or produce 1 coulomb of charge. If one electron carries minus 1.6 into 10 is to minus 19 coulomb, then how many such electrons are required to produce 1 coulomb of charge? Now here number of electrons required is Q upon E, that Q is 1 coulomb, that is the charge we want, and charge on 1 electron, that is 1.6 into 10 is to minus 19. If we simplify this, then 10 raised to minus 19 comes in the numerator, it becomes plus. And if we find out ratio of 1 upon 1.6, it will be, the final answer will be 6.25 into 10 raised to 18 electron. Just imagine this value. How big is this value? So 6.25 over it 18 zeros, or 625 and over it we will have to put 16 zeros. That many number of electrons together constitute 1 coulomb of charge. Then comes about, this means that flow of 6.25 into 10 raised to 18 coulomb of charge electrons produce 1 coulomb of charge. So how many? Sometimes you may be asked that how many electrons produced 1 coulomb of charge. Then in that case, you will have to find out this particular number, 6.25 into 10 raised to 18. In some books, you might see 6 into 10 raised to 18. The exact value or more specific value is 6.25 into 10 raised to 18. Whenever such questions are asked, most probable answer is to be answered. Okay, then comes about what is electric circuit. A closed continuous path of an electric current is called electric circuit. Now you already know that electrons are moving from negative terminal to positive terminal, and protons move from positive terminal to negative terminal. So flow of electron is taking place from negative terminal to positive, and flow of electric current is exactly opposite to the flow of electron. So flow of current is in the direction from positive to negative. Here a simple circuit has been shown. You will be able to see that here the bulb is shown, that bulb. Then in the circuit we are placing a battery. If it is one, then it is only one cell, but when there are more than one, we call it a battery. This is a key, what we call it as a switch. This is ammeter. This ammeter is actually measuring the current flowing through the circuit, and here is a bulb. So when you insert a key, then the circuit diagram gets completed, and as a result current will start flowing. In a circuit diagram, flow of current direction has to be shown. So here I have shown it is from positive to negative. So do remember, above diagram shows simple circuit in which a bulb, battery, key and an ammeter are connected. Remember, ammeter measures electric current, and electric current is denoted by alphabet I. Electric current is the flow of charge through conductor per unit time. Now that is what we say. What is electric current? Electric current is the flow of charge through a conductor per unit time. And SI unit of current is ampere. Symbolically, we use it by placing capital alphabet A. When we want to write entire spelling, then it should always begin with a small alphabet. Do remember, that is the way we write unit. If you want to write unit as entire name ampere, then that alphabet should begin with small. If you want to just put an alphabet, then that alphabet must be A. Small quantities of current can be expressed in milliampere and microampere. So 1 milliampere is 10 raised to minus 3 ampere, and 1 microampere is 10 raised to minus 6 ampere. So what is electric current? Electric current is charge flowing per unit time. So here we have got charge, here we have time, so I is equal to Q upon T. Electric current is denoted by alphabet I. The direction of conventional current, that is what I already earlier said. The direction of conventional current taken as positive to the opposite to the direction of the flow of electron. So current flows in the direction opposite the flow of electron. As we said, electrons move from negative terminal to positive terminal, and if the direction of current we want to find out, it is opposite to that, so we will say from positive to negative. Now whenever current we want to write, it may be asked, you may be asked, what is the definition of 1 ampere? Now 1 ampere definition is, if 1 coulomb of charge flows through any cross section of conductor in 1 second, then the electric current flowing through the conductor is said to be 1 ampere. So what is 1 ampere current? If 1 coulomb of charge flows through any cross section of a conductor in 1 second, then the electric current flowing through the conductor is said to be 1 ampere. Do remember that. Now let us see numericals based on the formula that we just mentioned. I is equal to Q upon T. This is the same sum that is mentioned given in the textbook. A current of 0.5 ampere is drawn by a filament of an electric bulb for 10 minutes. So time is given, current is given. Find the amount of electric charge that flows through the circuit. So I is equal to 0.5 ampere. Time is 10 minutes. The 10 minutes has to be converted into second. So 10 into 60. So it becomes 600 second. Now we know that I is equal to Q upon T. So Q will be I into T. This T goes on the other side, it gets multiplied. So Q, because we want to find out charge, we want to find out Q. So Q is equal to I into T. And that's why it comes to 0.5 into 10 into 60. If we simplify this, it comes to 300 coulomb. So 300 coulomb of charge flows through the circuit. Very simple example it is. Do remember, it may be asked for 1 mark. So you should remember that. Let's see another one. Calculate charge passing through an electric bulb in 20 minutes. if value of current is 200 milliampere. So time is 20 minutes. We need to convert it into second. So 20 into 60, it comes to 1200 second. So I is equal to 200 milliampere. Now 1 milliampere is equal to 10 raised to minus 3. And that's why 200 into 10 raised to minus 3, it will be converted into ampere. So here it is milliampere, we are converting it into ampere by multiplying with 10 raised to minus 3. So I is equal to Q upon T. I we know 200 into 10 raised to minus 3. Time we know 1200 second. And that's why on simplification, we will get answer 240 coulomb. So 240 coulomb of charge flows. Now just imagine when one coulomb of charge can be produced by 6.25 into 10 raised to 18 electrons. So on the basis of that, you can calculate how many electrons might be flowing through the circuit. 6.25 into 10 raised to 18 into 240 number of electrons, very big large number. Okay, let's see this. Calculate the current in a circuit of if 500 coulomb of charge passes through it in 10 minutes. So we have coulomb, we have charge 500 coulomb, time 10 minutes, so 10 into 60, 600 second. So I is equal to Q upon T, 500 upon 600 ampere. So we get 5 upon 6 and it comes to 0.83 ampere. This is how. Try some more sums on your own, because these sums are very short. It can be for 1 mark in fill in the blank or something, or it can be for 2 marks if it is a question of 2 marks. Now we are coming to electric potential and potential difference. Electric potential and potential difference. Electric potential or electrostatic potential at a point in an electric field is defined as the work done in bringing a unit positive charge from infinity to that point. Now here I want to explain what that infinity means. Infinity, infinite distance, you know. Now you also know the size of electron. You also know the size of atom. Atom is very, very small. And inside the nucleus, there are protons and neutrons. In the orbit, the electrons are moving. So size of the atom is so small that we cannot see by naked eye. We cannot see even by compound microscope. It can only be observed by electron microscope. Now from that we can get the idea that how small the electron will be. Now here I want to say, what does infinity mean? Now for example, distance from here to any star, distance from our what I would say Earth to any of the star other than Sun, or measures a measurement of this different celestial bodies. Now they are, we can say, they are infinite distance. For us, distance from here, from school to station, say it is about 5 kilometers. For us it is not infinite distance, but for an ant it is infinite distance. For an ant, because it is such a tiny creature, if it has to see that particular distance, it is very large, very infinite distance for that particular creature, ant. So similarly, in terms of atomic structures, in terms of this for electron, even 1 centimeter distance is considered to be infinite distance, even 1 centimeter. So do remember here that infinity is with respect to such a small distance. So what did we say? Electric potential or electrostatic potential at a point in an electric field is defined as the work done. So do remember, work done in bringing unit positive charge from infinity to that point. That is known as electric potential at a point, or simply electric potential. The SI unit of electric potential is volt. The SI unit of electric potential is volt. Now, more important quantity is potential difference. Potential difference between 2 points B and A, or A and B and A in an electrostatic field is the amount of work done in bringing unit positive charge from A to B along any path between 2 points. So here earlier we have seen about electrostatic potential at a point or electric potential at a point. Now we are talking about 2 points. And when 2 points come in picture, we certainly talk about potential difference between the 2 points. So potential difference between 2 points B and A in an electrostatic field is the amount of work done in carrying unit positive charge from A to B along any path between the 2 points. Here SI unit of potential difference is also volt, that is V, joule per coulomb, work done upon charge. So joule per coulomb. So potential difference between 2 points is equal to work done upon charge, and therefore V is equal to W upon Q, and that's why that volt can also be expressed as joule per coulomb. Volt can also be expressed as joule per coulomb. Now as we have defined 1 ampere current, we are now defined 1 volt potential difference. 1 volt potential difference is defined as when 1 joule of work is done to move a charge from 1 coulomb, charge of 1 coulomb from one point to other, then the potential difference across the 2 points is said to be 1 volt. So what did we say? 1 volt potential difference we are defining when 1 joule of work is done in order to move 1 coulomb of charge from one point to other, then the potential difference across the 2 points is said to be 1 volt. Now I am explaining this by other diagram. For example, here I have drawn this. This is a charge that is lying at infinity. This is a charge that is lying as infinity. The amount of work done in bringing this charge to point A is W1. Amount of work done in bringing this particular charge from infinity to this point is W1. That's why electric potential at a point A is V1. Similarly, this particular charge is brought to B. The amount of work done is W2. And that's why electrostatic potential at a point B is V2. So potential difference between these two, we call it as V. It is V1 minus V2. Obviously, V1 is greater than V2. Or it can be V2 minus V1 if V2 is greater than V1. Now, out of the two, whichever is at higher potential, whichever is bigger, so V1 in this case, V2 in this case, whichever is bigger is said to be positive terminal. Whichever is smaller, that is said to be negative terminal. So as long as potential difference is maintained between the two ends of the terminal, that particular source of potential difference works. Let us talk about a cell. A cell works because potential difference is developed between its positive terminal and negative terminal. After usage of that cell, whenever at both those terminals the potential difference becomes equal, V1 and V2 both become equal, so potential difference V will become 0, and at that time we will say that now that particular cell is used up, or that is fused. It is no more giving energy in order to allow the electrons to move, and if electrons do not move, then it will not be able to produce electric current. Let us see numerical based on this formula. How much work is done in moving a charge of 2 coulomb across 2 points having a potential difference 12 volt. So Q is given 2 coulomb, volt is given, potential difference is given 12 volt. We know that V is equal to W upon Q. So W will be V into Q. This Q goes on the other side, it gets multiplied. So W is equal to V into Q. So it is very simple. V into Q, that is 12 into 2, 24 joule of work is done. So the question was, how much work is done in moving charge of 2 coulomb across 2 points having potential difference 12 volt. So we have seen that 24 joule of work is done. Last year you have studied even the definition of joule. I hope you know that. If not, do remember, it may be asked sometimes. Now then comes about electric circuit. Electric circuit we have already talked about earlier, but here we are getting idea about what different components or which different instruments that we use in electric circuit and what are their symbols. We have seen earlier electric circuit. In the beginning we have seen a diagram that shows continuous and closed path of an electric current is electric circuit. Let us see some symbols of components that we denote in a circuit diagram. Now this particular first one, the notation is this, the diagram is this, we call it as a cell. As I mentioned here, one is a bigger line, other is a shorter line. That bigger line indicates it is positive terminal, the smaller line indicates negative terminal. In other words, I just said about potential difference, the positive terminal is higher potential, the negative terminal is lower potential. When more than one cell is connected in a series, then it is known as a battery. So here I have shown a battery, it is more than one cell. And remember, while you are drawing battery, one terminal will be shown positive, the last ending terminal will be shown negative. If both are bigger lines, the battery drawn is wrong. So if this is bigger, the last one should be smaller. So positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. So this is a symbol of battery. Then this is key. This third one is key, what we call it as switch. Here we do not put a dot, that means this is open key. The switch is not inserted, or it is right now the current is not flowing through. So it is open. In the second one, we put a dot in, that means key is inserted. The switch is on. The third is wire joint. When we show this manner of join, that means two wires have been joined. Whereas in the next one, it is not joining. Two lines are going, but they are not interconnected. So wire crossing without joining. That is the diagram. This particular figure is of a bulb. It can be drawn in this manner or it can be drawn like that. This is a bulb. Then this is a resistor. We will be talking about what a resistor is in our next session. Resistor, this is the symbol. Now sometimes resistance are such that we need to draw, and that time we will draw such kind of resistor. This is a variable resistance. This is variable resistance. Here we need to put a cross. This is a variable resistor. And this is ammeter and that is voltmeter. One is ammeter which measures electric current. The other is voltmeter that measures potential difference. This is what the diagram is, variable resistance. You can either draw it in this manner or you may draw it in this manner. So ammeter measures current. Remember, ammeter is always to be joined in series. Remember the word series. Voltmeter always to be connected in parallel. So ammeter measures electric current, voltmeter measures potential difference V across two ends. And there is one another sign, that is galvanometer, and that galvanometer is measuring whether the current is passing or not. Okay.